Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. We're so happy you're here with us this morning on this windy, blustery, but beautiful December day. And so snuggle up in your jammies and with your little morning cup of cocoa and your pets. And we have a delicious song to start with, one of our favorites from Faith Rivera called God Is.
Where I am, God is. Where I stand, God is standing strong. Where I breathe, God is breathing life in and out and through me as me. Where I sing, God is. Where I dance, Lord, is my feet. Where I live, beauty's flowing freely in and out and through me as me. For where I die, God is the faith in me. Where I cry, God is the comfort there. Where I see, God is the answer, here and now, forever and ever and ever. And where I speak, truth is. Where I work, love is my career. Where I play, God is laughing boldly in and out and through me as me. Where I am, where I stand, where I play, where I work, where I sing, where I dance, where I pray, where I go, God is, life is, joy is, I am where God is.
Good morning. I am so happy to see you. Happy birthday to us. Today is our 11th birthday, and I'm so grateful for this time together and that we're able to do it. You know, I was thinking about this number 11 that we have, and it's called palindromic. It's a palindromic birthday. And as you know, palindrome is whenever a word is spelled forward or backward, it's the same like Bob, race car. Those are palindromes. Well, in numbers, today is our 11th birthday. So whether you put the one here, or do this, we're still 11. And I'm happy that you're here with us to celebrate our birthday. Today, we're talking about mastery, the success story. We finish up our book by Will Bowen. And we're going to talk a little bit about these little bracelets later. And But we are continuing on in our success, even if we're ending our book. And if you haven't gotten your 21 days of complaint-free living, let's talk about that. Let's talk about it some more today. All right, helping us in service today, and I'm so grateful for that. Our band, who you met, and they are amazing and wonderful and dedicated, and I love them. Holding high watch with us today is Marge Larraguete, Teresa Greco. We have Julia Washington, Toby Pope, Greg Gardner, and so many others. We have a mighty army of 22 practitioners here at the center, and practitioners are people who've studied the art and the art of prayer, and they know the truth about us, which is that we are whole, perfect, complete, and but for some funky little idea that's gotten in there, we would manifest whole, perfect, and complete. So see a practitioner, and so they're holding high watch today. And we have on invocation our very own Kathy Mathiasen. I'm so grateful for her doing our audio and technical. We have Annette Martinez, who is our IT director. On camera is Gwyneth Welch. And on soundboard is, of course, my beloved Mason Cresley. So that's who's here today. We are Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. We are affiliated with the Centers for Spiritual Living, which is a group located worldwide that studies the science of mind. The science meaning the nature of mind, the nature of the divine. So we're looking at the nature of the divine all around the world. And that means that we study first cause. Some people call it God, some people call it whatever you call it, quantum field. That is what we study. And in doing so, we become masters ourselves. So that's who we are. Oh, vision and mission. So Annette, if you would put our vision and mission up. Our vision is transforming our world with the power of love and action. And our mission is loving all creation through spiritual growth and service, always staying true to our highest self. So that's who we are. And with that, I would like to invite Kathy Mathiasen into our virtual studio. Hi, Kathy. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you. So I'd like to say good morning to everyone who is listening, everyone who is spiritually present. And I bless all of you today. And I know right here, right now, that the power and presence of the creator of everything in the universe is working in, around, and through each of us here.
Yes.
And that this creator is the same loving force that created this sacred space we call Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. Know that this loving force continues to support our center and all who continue to co-create this community of love. So as Martha said, we celebrate and rejoice in the birth of this creation of love, peace, and joy. This center we hold near and dear to our hearts, and which supports our own spiritual growth. So as we listen to the words of our blessed, loved Reverend Martha, with that same love, peace, and joy, she guides us to living a complaint-free life, making it all love. I bless the musicians and the music, the technical support team, which makes this broadcast possible. We are blessed. And we continue to be a blessing to all who come and hear the truth in our center. I know this to be so, and so it is.
And so it is. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Kathy. That was beautiful. It's time now for our spiritual reading. And today's spiritual reading is taken from Love Poems from God. And I just love this book. The What's interesting about this is today's poem is from a guy named St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas is from a group of philosophers from the Neoplatonic period. That was the beginning of Judeo-Christian thought, and the idea that there is only one God. So this is St. Thomas Aquinas, and he said the title of this is "What Does Light Talk About?" When you recognize her beauty, the eye applauds, the heart stands in an ovation, and the tongue, when she is near, is on its best behavior. It speaks more like light. What does light talk about? I asked a plant that once. It said, I'm not sure, but it makes me grow. Thank you so much, and now I'll turn it over to our band.
Thanks, Reverend Martha. So I'm thinking about us finishing this book and all the amazing things we've done with this book. And then I'm also thinking about us being 11 years old. It's all one. Get my joke? Okay. Anyway, so I'm just thinking about all the amazing things we have done and all the amazing things we will do. So this song is for our birthday.
Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. You will do amazing things with the choice each new day brings. And with every step you take, plus the progress you will make, the reason you live is found in every gift you give. Love your life, love your dreams. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You will do amazing things. All the places you will go and the people you will know. Don't worry when or how. You don't have to know that now. You're on the right track. No need to look ahead or back. Just enjoy what this day brings. You will do amazing things. You don't have to work it out. Just stay in the here and now. Let your mind rest for a little while. Sometimes the deepest answers come when you're out there having fun. So close your eyes and take a breath and smile. Amazing, amazing. You do amazing things. Amazing, amazing. You do
Thank you so much. It's one of my favorite songs. All right, today it is the last time we'll speak about this book, A Complaint-Free World, Living the Life You Desire by Will Bowen. Today is called Mastery, the Success Story. Here's the thing about mastery. Here's the thing about success. There's a decision inherent in all of it. I have to decide every day that I'm going to get up and I'm going to do it. Searching is not necessarily finding. In order to find that thing, we take that step, the next step, the next step. There is a decision to move toward the goal. So whatever success is achieving that goal. If I have no goal, then, and I have no desire and I make no decisions, then that's something too. But in order to be happy, I have to be happy. Will Bowen talks about in his book in these last couple of chapters. He says, well, here's the thing. If you haven't achieved 21 days yet, and I'll confess I haven't achieved 21 days yet, and it takes 8 to 10 months sometimes to get the 21 days, so don't give up. But here's what we get. In order to get that 21 days, it takes 1 minute at a time, a decision at a time. Am I going to complain? Am I going to complain? There's something called entrainment. And entrainment is when, for example, a grape begins to ripen. And the moment it starts to ripen, it signals to all the other grapes that they should start ripening too, entrainment. The same thing happens with moldy berries. How many of us have looked in the refrigerator, figured we were going to get out some really luscious, great blueberries, only to find that a moldy one had begun. And sometimes, if we're lucky, we just catch the moldy one who's going to entrain all of the other blueberries. But that happens too. So we can either ripen in entrainment or we can grow moldy in entrainment. But the purpose of being happy is that once I begin to be happy, once I start not complaining and replacing that with happiness, then I begin to be happy. And others begin to entrain with me. Bowen says that there are times that our dollars begin to flow. We become happier to be around. And he says after a while, and I've already had this experience, he says after a while, if someone begins to complain, he says it's like a bad odor coming into the room. He says, you notice it, but because we're not trying to correct everybody, we're not trying to correct anything, we just notice it and we move on. He calls it unconscious competence. And one of the bases of this happy life is that we then become appreciative of everything. Appreciative of everything. And that I find myself doing these days. When I wake up, we've had the most magnificent sunrises and sunsets this past week. I've noticed my dog and how funny she is, and how funny she is with my daughter's dog. And I notice these little things, how people speak kindly to each other, how beautiful it is to be me. And in those times that I've been unhappy, the years and years that went by before, where I would complain about everything, then that complaint, which was supposed to be a purging, which would then make me feel better, did not. The more I complained, the more I complained. The angrier I was, the angrier I got. So here's the thing, here's what I begin to understand, is that if I want to be happy, I have to be happy. There isn't a set of circumstances out here that's going to make me be happier. I have to just be happy. And here's the thing. When I begin to change, I have to let myself change. I have to let others change around me. And often the hard part about changing, and the hard part about, in this case, about giving up complaining, is I have to give up complaining. If I want to change and I want to stop being unhappy, I have to give up unhappiness for happiness. There has to be something to replace it, because if I don't replace that, if I just say, okay, today I'm just not going to complain. I'm not complaining. Oh, I'm not complaining. Well, if I've not replaced it with anything, my not complaining becomes my complaint, yes? But if I begin to say, today I won't complain, today I will speak well of others, today I will walk into a room and lighten everything up, like that poem from St. Thomas Aquinas, what does light speak of? I know when I'm filled with it because my mouth speaks better. My eyes see more. My heart is open. And the plants even begin to grow. And each of us has the ability to become that something more, to not complain. And it's more than that. It's to be happy. Bowen says in his book, he says, as you become a person who speaks only the highest for yourself and others, simply by being who you are, you will signal to everyone that it is time for a change. Without even trying, you will raise the consciousness of those around you. They will entrain with you. Entrainment is a powerful principle. I think this is why human beings like to hug one another. And we're missing those today, aren't we? When we hug, even if just for a brief second, our hearts entrain and we remind ourselves that there is only one life on this planet, a life we all share. If we don't choose how we live, he says, our version of this life with intention, we will live it by default, following along with others. Rather than knowing that we lead the flock, we will allow the flock to lead us. People follow along after others without even realizing they are doing so. So today, make that decision. Make the decision to be happy. And sometimes it's not even a matter of saying, I'm not going to complain right now. Sometimes it's a matter of saying, what would happiness do right now? Smile. Leave the situation. Be quiet. Sometimes speak up. But ask that happiness in the heart, because we are all whole, perfect, complete. We come with our complete set of tools, a complete set of principles. We come to a place inside each of us where we know what happy is. It's always been there. It may have been covered up with a bunch of anger and unhappiness, but we know what it is. We know what peace is. We know what joy and health and happiness is. And today, we get to be there. Today, we get to be part of that happiness. So what would happiness do? Happiness today takes a decision. And in that decision, I have found it. It's not searching for it. It's not enough to say, gosh, I'm looking for happiness. If I had just the right partner, if I had just the right job, if I had just the right house, if I'd had just the right this. I'm not happy because I found just the right thing. I'm happy because I'm happy, and suddenly I have a life that I want and a life that I appreciate. So going forward, don't give up. Keep not complaining. Even if you haven't done your 21 days, have our little wristband, 21 days. Keep shifting it over if you have to. But today, make that decision. Be happy. Namaste. So now is our prayer time. I would ask all of the practitioners to please stand with me wherever you are. In your mind, encircle all people who are part of the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living. And know with me in this moment that all there is God. That life principle, that divine, that is everywhere equally present. It is called the first cause, the quantum field, Mother, Father, Guadalupe, that was her day yesterday. La Virgen, Guadalupe, Creator, Mother, Father, Pachamama, whatever it is that is Creator for you. I recognize that right here, right now, knowing that it circles our earth faster than the speed of light, creates faster than anyone can know. And in this moment of creation, I am one with it. I'm one with it, for I have never been separate from it. I cannot be separate from it. I am one with it, so wholly and perfectly unified in this moment that anything unlike it, anything that would even speak of death, falls away from me. For I am alive in this one life. I am alive in it. And as I know this life for me, I know it for every person who is with me right now and who sees this later. Each person is one with the one so profoundly, so perfectly, that anything unlike this one falls away. Anything that would speak of death, any fear, any anger, any illness, any unhappiness falls away now, never to return. And today, I affirm and declare happy. I affirm and declare joy and peace for all of us. Whatever it is that is our desire, each desire is already made manifest. For I know that it is part of the fabric of human life, that desire to have it is planted by the Creator herself, by the Creator himself, and that it is ours to enjoy and ours to experience. I affirm and declare for the Rio Grande Center for Spiritual Living several lifetimes more. As we create this foundation of our 11th birthday, each of us are blessed. All of us who arrive here to celebrate are blessed in our own lives and in our own ways. I am so grateful. I am grateful for this community called the Rio Grande Center. I am grateful for all the people who have been here, all the people who are here, and those that are yet to come. For we are a mighty army of light workers. And in that, I am so grateful that each of us, in being happy, and train others to be happy with us. For we are a ripening bunch of grapes, spreading goodness throughout the world. And it is in that I give thanks, release my word, and know it cannot come back to us void. And so it is. Amen. Thank you. So now's the time during our service where we invite someone from the pledge team to give their story. And today is the last day of the pledge. So I asked the pledge team if I could tell you my story and why I believe in tithing. One of the things that where tithing comes from is the Old Testament. And it happened when Aaron, who was Moses' brother, became the priest for the community. And so what Moses and God declared was that every person would give 10% of what they grew to Aaron, because his job was not to be a farmer. His job, he could not raise his own crops and feed his family. His job was to take care of the spiritual life of that community. And so everyone contributed to him that he might live as he took care of the spiritual life of the community. I found a long time ago that tithing is a spiritual practice. When I first started, I was a single mom. And I used to give. I gave because I was a good citizen. I was going to do my part. I would give my donation. I would give my contribution. And then my friend in prac class, Bonnie Smith, she's now a minister down in Las Cruces, she said that she tithed and that she was happy about it. She said, when I get paid, she said, and she would take, she took out a pen, imaginary pen. She goes, when I get paid, she says, I think about who I'm going to give my 10% to. And she says, and she does it with such a joyful heart. And I thought, oh my God. But I couldn't dismiss Bonnie because she was similarly situated as me. She was a single mom going to school and raising her son. So I thought, well, if Bonnie can do it, I can do it. And I began to give 10% of what I made. And I began to get back so much more because I was signaling to the universe that I was open for more. If I was using every single dollar, what I found is that when I began using every single penny, every single dollar to pay my bills, to squirrel it away in a bank account, I was signaling to the universe that my money was just to pay bills. That's all it was going to be for. And as a result of that, I wasn't having any fun. Well, as time went on, as I began to tithe, I began to give. I gave to the center I would belong to at that time. I gave it to people who spiritually inspired me. I gave it to where I was spiritually fed. And this is different than charity. This is different than charity. I have charitable contributions too, but it's because they do good work as well. But where I'm spiritually inspired, where I'm spiritually fed, for me is right here. And my husband and I have given 10% of our income for these last 11 years. And it's because we each deeply believe in it so much. It's a spiritual practice that has allowed us to become wealthy in our souls, wealthy in our heart, wealthy and abundant in who we are. And whether we have more money than anybody else or less money than anybody else, that's beside the point. I urge you to join me. It's a spiritual practice. Experiment with it. Do it. Do it for just a month or two. Give 10%. See what it feels like. Give it with a joyful heart. You'll be glad you did. So thank you for your gifts. Thank you for your prayers. Annette is flashing the number where you can tithe. It's still not too late to pledge. If you go on to our website or you text that number, you can say it's for a pledge. And our theme in 2021 is going to be the unity of community. And so that is what's part of that. So with that, I will turn our service over to our band.
Thanks, Reverend Martha. And love to talk about tithing. Tithing is so beautiful. Once I got over myself, I said, it's 10% fun money. Oh my God, I get to decide, what feeds my soul. I love doing it. It is exciting with that Reverend Bonnie relish of like, ooh, where does this 10% go? It's so exciting. And yeah, I get back way more than I give. So, and this is, if you happen to be of a Christian background, you know that this is the third week in Advent. It is the joyful Sunday of Advent, so it's perfect for our birthday. And I know some of you might be celebrating Hanukkah, Christmas, Festival of Lights. We've got all sorts of beautiful things going on in this season. But a certain song always gets me every year that just, like nostalgic childhood happiness. you know, I just can't think of Christmas and this season without thinking of the peanuts. So we have a sweet little song for you that's in the spirit of the season and just being joyful.
Christmas time is here, happiness and cheer, fun for all that children call their favorite time of year. Snowflakes in the air, carols everywhere, olden times and ancient rhymes of love and dream to share. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere, moving by the fireside and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Sleigh bells in the air, beauty everywhere. Yuletide by the fireside, and joyful memories there. Christmas time is here, we'll be drawing near. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year. Oh, that we could always see such spirit through the year.
Beautiful. Thank you. Well, thank you for all of your donations. And if you would, raise your hands and bless them with me, knowing that every dollar that is donated to our center goes out now to do our bidding, and that is to deliver this message that science of mind works, that there is an army of light workers and mystics working in our world, and that we are entraining this world in the subject of love, peace, joy, and happiness. And likewise, every dollar goes back to the givers, going into their coffers, multiplying it 10 million, 20 million fold, that each person who contributes, who tithes, knows what it is to be abundant and happy. So knowing that all is well, I give thanks for all of this money everywhere, for none of us can outgive God. And so it is. Amen. All right. If you are new today, thank you for being here. I am so grateful that you chose to spend your time this morning with us at the Rio Grande Center. Today, as I said, is our 11th birthday. Right afterward, after this, we usually go into our Zoom social hall. And if you go there, you're going to find our 11th birthday party. Mark Ayers and the Pledge team has been working really hard on this, and they have so much. They have music, poetry reading. It's going to be great. On the Pledge team this year has been Mark Ayers, Tamara Williams, Laura Snap, Rebecca Taylor, Mike Hacker, and myself. And they have worked so hard, along with Carmela Herrera and CJ Barkley, to help us raise our awareness about allowing our funds to help this center continue. Our money also goes to support activities as Centers for Spiritual Living, and that's because Centers for Spiritual Living gets this message out all over the world, and so we support them. We support people in our community, And as you'll hear later, we also support people in our community for Christmas. And so that brings me to, so right afterwards, right after this broadcast, which is going to be shortly, meet us in the Zoom social hall, and we will be having our birthday party. And also the community outreach team has been doing Michelle's Giving Tree this year. And so what they said is, would you please remind folks tomorrow, and that's Monday, that the presents for Michelle's Giving Tree are due tomorrow, Monday, December 14th, but it's not too late. Pat Scanlon and Keith Auger of the Community Outreach Team will be at the center from 10 to 2 to accept the gifts. Thank you, they say, and blessings to all. The other things that are going on that please look forward to is on Christmas Eve, we will be right here singing along, having our regular Christmas Eve service, and you can join us at home for our regular Christmas Eve service. We will also on New Year's Eve morning join all of the people around the world meditating for world peace. So those are our holidays this year. We, instead of a burning bowl on Sunday, December the 27th, we will incorporate a version of our rock ceremony in order that takes the place of the burning bowl, because I couldn't figure out how to do it, stay on camera, be outside, and invite everybody all at the same time. It was kind of like, oh my God, we're not going to be able to do that. But we can do this rock ceremony. And I'm going to talk about how we build an altar for a better 2021. So if you're into altars, or if you've never been but want to be, to Sunday, December 27th. All right. Well, that's our birthday. Are you guys able to do a little birthday song very quickly? I'm going to, I'm pulling a fast one on the band here. Okay, can we? All right, here we go.
So 1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday to ya. Happy birthday. Yay. Okay. Wow. Good job. Good job. I just pulled a big switcheroo on the band, and that was great. All right. With that, please put your arms around yourself. Oh, just give yourself the biggest hug, big hug, and say with me, wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful me. With that, have a great week. Please join us in the social hall. We're on our way over there now. Thank you. Have a great week.
Dreams green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Oh, I think to myself,